Well, this video just blew up. After I posted this video, I got a ton of comments on Instagram asking if I would do a full tutorial on how I made this illustration. So that's what I'm gonna do. Let's do that. I'm here in Adobe Project Neo. What I wanna do first is I wanna click Create in the top right-hand corner. What this is gonna do is exactly what you think. It's gonna create a new document. There's a couple things you'll notice, but the first thing I like to do is rename my document. So I'm gonna do that real quick. So the next thing I wanna do is I wanna change my scene. So I have my artboard panel over here where I can turn the frame on and off. This is actually really helpful for when I'm building. But I don't want it to be a 1080 by 1080. I actually want it to be a 1080 by 1920. This is how I exported it as the vertical orientation that I use for the reel. So that's great. But again, I'm going to turn the frame off now that I get a good understanding of what it looks like because it's just in the way when I'm building. And the environment, I'm going to change the background to white. This is going to be much more in line with that style that I am building. And then I'm actually going to change the camera to isometric. This is going to help us keep that consistent when we're building. So we've got this little platform here in this cube. This is great. This will actually help us start our build. But you might be noticing this does not look like what I showed in my reel. And you'd be correct. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to change the style in the top left corner. So I can click on style. And then I'm going to change this to vector art. So that gives it that illustration look that I like to achieve and that I showed on my reel. What's cool is I can actually change the outline color as well. So I'm going to make it this like navy blue. The vibe was supposed to be like a blueprint. And so hopefully that comes across, but that's what I was going for. So now I'm going to change this cube. I'm going to change the color so I can just click on it. And then I can come over here to my appearance panel and I'm going to click on split. This allows me to change the body, the highlight, and the shadow color. So the body color, I'm going to make white. And the highlight color, I'm going to make white as well. And then for the shadow color, I'm going to grab the color of the outline and then I'm going to subdue it quite a bit. So just pull that up, maybe something like there. Yeah, I think that like pastel blue is going to be nice. Now here's a little trick I don't think a lot of people know. I can actually click on my cube that I just made this little style for, and I can actually copy the material. So down here you see copy material. Now I can click on my platform here and I can paste the material and you see how it transferred that shadow color. So now I can do that for every element I build and keep it really consistent. Now let's turn this cube into the space bar or the little keyboard that I had. So I'm going to click on my cube and you'll see these little handles. These handles actually make this go up and down, which is really simple. And then I have arrows, which actually move things around. So I'm going to start pulling this out. I want to make this look like the keyboard. So just pull it, adjust it. There's really no rhyme or reason. Just want to make sure it looks how I want it to look. And I can actually grab this and you'll see I have these little snapping modules and that makes sure I stay right in the center, which is really helpful. So on my illustration, I had rounded corners. So I can click A on the keyboard and that's going to bring up these little beziers. So I had the select tool, which I was previously using. And then this is like the direct selection tool. It's called edit shape, but in Illustrator, we would call this direct selection tool. And again, that brings up these beziers that I can actually just roll in. And this will give it the look that I'm looking for. So that's good. And now that I realize it's actually a little tall, so I'm going to make it a little bit shorter. I think that'll be good. So now we can duplicate this. So that's Control or Command D on the keyboard. Again, I'm going to make this a little bit smaller, move it up with my arrow, maybe something like this. I'm going to make it a little taller, a little bit smaller. So I'm going to duplicate this one more time. And this time I'm actually going to make it a little bit bigger again, move it down on my arrow, but we're going to do something different here. So I'm actually going to change the appearance. I'm going to change this to flat, and then we're going to change the color to the same color as that outline stroke. So I'm going to use this color picker, change that, and then I'm going to change the combine mode to color. And what this does is it actually takes on the shape of the object below it and just adds color. So really convenient for adding a little bit of style. So great, we're actually getting pretty close. So now I want to add the little like USB charging port in the front. So I use a cube. Again, we got these snapping modules, which makes it really easy. I can make this smaller, move my arrow, and I'm going to make this thinner. So just grabbing those little square handles. And I'm going to zoom in. To zoom in, I'm just scrolling on my scroll wheel with the mouse. I'm going to click A on the keyboard to bring up that direct selection tool around these corners. V to go back to select. And then I'll change this to flat again. Going to change the color to the same color we're using. And then change it to color one more time. and that'll take on the shape like we just did previously. So I'm going to duplicate that, Command D. By the way, I'm holding Shift when I'm moving these things because I want to make sure we're staying in that isometric grid. Now I'm going to click A again. I'm going to bring this all the way in until it looks like a circle. And then I'm going to duplicate one more time. And now we got these nice little 2 dots. So the last thing I want to do to this little keycap is just add some text. We have text in the left toolbar. And then I can click right on this little orange dot. That'll make sure it's in the center. So we've got some basic lorem ipsum filler text. I'm going to change this to say create. Something like that. Make it bigger. Make sure the size is the size we want. And then I actually have access to all the Adobe fonts, which is great. So I'm going to use Soap Regular. I think this is a fun font. It's a little bigger, so let's size it down. And then we're going to do our flat method again. So we can do flat. I can change my color. And then we're going to change the combine to color. And you see, it looks like it's just printed on top of there, which is great. So now let's add a little bit of motion to this. So I can select this keycap, and then I can select the copy. And I can just do Command G or Control G to group. And now you see I have this motion tab right here, so I can click motion, and we're going to do wiggle. Now that might seem a little confusing, but this just moves it on the X, Y, and Z axis. We want this to move on the Y axis, which just means it goes up and down. So I can change the amplitude. So amplitude's going to be how high or low it goes. I think that'll be good. And then cycle time is how quick it's actually moving. So maybe something like that. So now it looks like that keycap is being pressed in and out, which is exactly what I'm going for. Great, so I'm going to stop this because I don't want that moving while I'm building, but let's build our next object. So the next object I'm going to build is the little pencil. So we're going to grab the polygon tool, and I'm just going to drag it onto my scene, and I'm going to make this way bigger. So bring that up, move it down, bring it up. Maybe that's a little bit too small, something like this. And I'm going to move this sideways, again, holding Shift. And so something I'm going to do with this one is I'm actually going to add a point. So right now it's got 5 points. I'm going to make it have 6 points. 6, and then enter. Let's move this to the ground. You see we got our shadows working, which is actually pretty convenient. We'll get into that in a minute. Great, so that looks like the base of a pencil. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab my little keycap right here, and I'm going to copy material, just like we did previously. And I'm going to paste it, and now we look consistent with the illustration style. So the end of a pencil should have some lead, right? So we'll grab the cylinder tool. Going to snap this here. I love the snapping feature. That actually didn't used to be part of this, and now that it's added, it's just so much easier. Great, that looks good. And I'm actually just going to copy this style right here. Make this a little smaller. Perfect. And now that looks like the end of a pencil. Now I'm going to go back over here, and I'm going to grab my cylinder again. So let's snap the cylinder, make it smaller. Let's move this into place. And you see I'm moving my camera. I'm actually right-clicking when I do that, and then moving it around. Great, that looks good. So now I can copy this material again. I'm going to paste it. And let's duplicate. Let's make this much more narrow. Bring up the size. Do one more. Command D. Perfect. Now we're going to duplicate this guy one more time. We're going to make this one a little smaller. And on this one, I'm going to change it to flat. And then I'm going to change it to that dark blue. Now if we look, it should look like a pencil, right? So now I want to group my pencil. So I'm going to grab all this. Don't want the platform. And I'm going to just do Command G. So now we have the pencil grouped. And so I can actually duplicate this one more time. So it's nice that I can actually duplicate the whole group. It makes it so much easier to keep building. And we can just stack this on top of the other pencil. I'm actually going to change my camera to parallel for a minute so I can see this a little bit better. I can zoom in, and then we're just going to angle this. I don't have a good rhyme or reason for this one. This one's just kind of eyeballing, but get it close, and I've found that you'll be happy with it. Maybe something like that. Yeah, I think that looks good. Let's go back to isometric. So now we've got our pencil, and we've got our little button. But one thing I want to do is I actually want to change the shadow. So it looks like the shadow is pretty heavy. So up here on the top left, I have light. I can change the rotation, which is really cool. I like the angle that it's at, but it's the height that I want to adjust. So maybe we'll have something a little bit simpler, something like that. Yeah, I think that'll be great. All right, let's go on to one of the animations that looked maybe a little bit more difficult than it actually is. I'm going to grab a sphere, and I'm going to place it right here. Let's make this a lot smaller, maybe something like that. And I'm going to paste the material again, so it matches the illustration style. Now we're going to do something that feels like magic. I'm going to go over here to my properties panel, and I'm going to select repeat, and we're going to do radial. Check that out. It's pretty cool, huh? I can adjust the distance, and I'm actually going to add a couple more copies. So I'm going to bring it up to 8. Let's bring that distance down a little bit. Whoops, wrong way. So now let's place this inside of the artboard, or inside of the canvas. So this was actually a cool effect, I think, that added to the overall animation. I went over here to motion. So I clicked motion, and I did a spin. So I click on spin, and this is actually the wrong way. It's not bad, it's just not what I'm looking for. I actually wanted to spin this on the x-axis, and I reverse the direction. So now when I click away, it looks like it's jumping through. But what really sells the effect is adding like a little hole to the bottom. So I grab my cylinder, and I make this a lot smaller. Again, grabbing those little squares. I change this to flat. Make sure the color is that dark blue. Change the additive to color. And then I like to put this right where the ball would be coming out of. Great. And so one thing I can actually do is I can grab both of these elements and I can use my align tool, and I can make sure they're exactly aligned on the same axis, which makes the effect just look that much more clean. Now I'm going to duplicate, place this one over here, and now if I press play, it should look like it's going in and out of this little hole. So you notice I've got a little bit of adjusting to do, which is fine. It's cool that I can actually adjust while it's playing. I mean, what other platform can you do that in? It's really kind of mind-blowing. Great, so I can click off. Now it looks like it's jumping through this little hole. Really cool effect. Let me stop this animation, and I want to group all of this. So now it's much easier to place wherever I want. All right, so the next object we're gonna do is actually the little like notification bubble. And for this one, we're gonna jump over into Adobe Illustrator. So I don't think people know this, but you can actually export illustrations as an SVG from Adobe Illustrator, and you can export from Neo back into Adobe Illustrator, which is really awesome. So like this could be done in Neo by itself, but it's just gonna be so much easier to actually build this in Adobe Illustrator and then bring it into Neo. So that's what I'm gonna do. So I've got a little round square, and then I've got this little triangle. I'm going to make sure these are aligned, and then I'm going to use my Pathfinder tool to make sure that becomes one shape. So I've got this bubble made. Now I can just take it, and I can just Command-C, copy on the keyboard. I can go back to my scene in Neo, and it's as simple as just pasting, and check that out. I've got this little text bubble, that easy. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually make this go into place over here. Paste my style, right? We want everything to be consistent. I'm gonna come over here and zoom in. Perfect. And now let's add a light count on this, right? So let's click with our text tool. Let's make this orientation the correct way. And let's put 100, right? Because 100 people are gonna give me a like notification. Wouldn't that be nice? All right, so I'm gonna paste this material as well. Perfect, I like that. So I'm gonna take both of these and I'm gonna group them, and I'm actually gonna duplicate just to make the scene look nicer. Maybe this one's going this way, and then maybe we have another one. Again, I'm just doing Command D to duplicate. This time I'm going to rotate it to a different orientation. I'm going to have it maybe floating a little bit, and we're going to add a little bit of motion to this one. So I'm going to go back to my motion panel, and I'm going to do spin. But again, spinning on the wrong axis. I want this spinning on the Z axis, right? So that looks pretty cool. And then I'm going to actually combine animations. So you may not know, but you can actually combine multiple animations. So I'm going to do the wiggle. I'm going to have this one on the Y axis, and I'm going to have this like kind of bouncing up and down as it's rotating. So it's pretty sweet, right? I've got this simple key being pressed in. I've got these little balls going in and out of this hole. And then I've got this 360 up and down rotation, which is really sweet. I mean, this video is not very long, and look how much we've created. Super awesome. I could go further into detail about how to make each specific item that I used in my illustration, but I think everything I've shown up to this point gets you the idea and teaches you how to actually use this software to where you can go and start creating this on your own. Well, guys, that's all I got for you. If you like this video, you already know what to do. Until the next time, peace.